Consumer Reporter Steve Noviello is just back from a week-long test drive of the new Chevy Bolt EUV. Good morning, Steve. You feeling the pump, the pain, all of it?
I'm feeling the pump, I'm feeling the pain, I'm feeling my wallet getting smaller, I'm feeling all of it. I'm also kind of feeling the new Chevy Bolt. You know, it was my first time driving an electric, and I'll tell you, it is clear that manufacturers are really committed to this kind of race, you know, to price and performance to try and convince consumers that, look, it's time to go electric, right? And with a summer of really high gas prices kind of wrapping up, I think consumers may be poised for a pivot. The folks at Chevy say they're ready right now.
With its panoramic sunroof and crossover styling, the Bolt EUV meets the mark when it comes to affordability. Starting at just $28,200, GM just incentivized the price.
We actually just took $6,000 off the price to make it a little bit more competitive in the market.
As tested, this one's going to cost you about $43,000 with a bunch of luxury extras like a remote start. Inside, vented front seats, infotainment center, wireless charging, rear view cameras. This thing's even got Super Cruise, which allows it to drive by itself.
The vehicle is ready to engage Super Cruise, so I'm going to go ahead and engage Super Cruise. So the vehicle is now currently driving on its own.
But it's not without its faults. There are some things that are missing, some kind of weird things, like the passenger side does not have any sort of electric control for its seat. There's no push button for the tailgate, and something that I always look for are power ports inside the armrest, so things like my earbuds don't have to sit out when they're being charged. This vehicle has none. What it does have is power, lots of it, and range, close to 250 miles standard at all trim levels. If you've never driven an electric before, the difference is immediately noticeable when you step on the pedal. It takes off with plenty of pep. The Bolt EUV is fun to drive, swift on its feet, and very responsive. During our week-long road test, we drove without regard to conservation to see if, with the AC on and phone charging, we'd experience the energy anxiety that some say they fear when it comes to making the switch to all electric. We experienced none. In fact, with around town driving, it was 2 days before we even had to charge the Bolt, and even then had only used a quarter of its battery. That's where you will need to adapt ever so slightly. The Bolt comes with an adapter for 240, but also a standard wall plug at 120. Now, you can charge it this way with no modifications at all to your home. During our test, charging at that power was possible, but very, very sluggish, especially when the vehicle wasn't set to max performance. If you are looking to make the investment, you're going to want to install a 240 plug. Here's the good news. Chevrolet will come to your house and make that modification for you for free.
Green word of caution with really any of these electric vehicles that you see on the market. They are zero emissions once they hit the road. As far as the eco impact of manufacturing the battery that powers them, you may have to drive for many miles before that impact is negated by the clean power that they provide. We did ask Chevy specifically for some data on the eco impact or carbon footprint of their battery manufacturing process. They instead reminded us of Chevy's commitment to a green future. That future, by the way, includes Blazer EV, Equinox EV, Silverado EV, and you see them on the road now, the new Hummer EV. More from GM right now on our station website.
Yeah, very cool. I would have loved to see the numbers too, but hey, that was a pretty cool car. I'm glad you did that. I've always wondered what would it be like. So thanks, Steve.
You know, and again, at 28.2, you know, really these things are way in range now.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, compared to some of the prices out there for used cars, might have to look into it. We appreciate you, Steve.